It's a strange world. Everyone's head is a Rubik's Cube. They only make friends with people of the same color. George is an anomaly. He could change colors at will. One day he came across a red Rubik's Cube. George turned himself red. He raised his glass. George was very happy. Then George met a blue cube, so he turned blue again. And that's how George gained another friend. He saw a group of people taking the elevator and stood up in the elevator with them. But when he got to the top, the Rubik's Cubes fell off one by one to fit in with the group. George fell from the top. It hurt, but he had to endure it. Otherwise, he'd be considered a misfit. That day, George was spinning a Rubik's Cube when something went wrong. There was an extra piece of blue in the yellow square, and when the other guy saw it, he laughed. George was very upset. He looked at himself in the mirror. He began to feel inferior. But in order to make friends, George put a piece of yellow paper on top of the blue. Then he found a yellow Rubik's Cube, but he was still rejected. George couldn't stand it any longer. He spun the cube angrily on his head, but he spun it too hard, and he lost all the cubes on his head. George had to put them back together. Then he went to the elevator and pushed them all down when they weren't looking, and he watched as everyone cursed him. George didn't care. He didn't think he had to change to fit in with everyone else.